Every year, millions of American men cross a line they don't even see. Their energy fades, their motivation slips, their drive disappears, and doctors tell them it's just normal aging. But what if your body has been flashing a warning light for years, a warning you could literally see at your feet? Tonight, we're exposing a hidden sign that could point to low testosterone in men over 50 and what you can do about it before it steals your vitality. So stick with me, because the story you're about to hear might just change the way you look at your own body. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the real stories about men's health no one else is telling. Let me start with a question. How many of you have felt more tired lately? Less motivated, maybe a little heavier around the waist? Drop a comment below. I actually read them. Here in the US, studies show testosterone drops by about 1% a year after 30, and by 50, a lot of men are running on fumes. But because it happens slowly, it's easy to chalk it up to stress or just getting older. Think of testosterone as the octane rating of your engine. When you were 25, you were running on premium. Now, without realizing it, you're down to regular unleaded. The engine still runs, but it sputters under load. Most guys only hear about testosterone in TV ads for therapy or in gym talk, but it's way more than muscles or libido. It's your body's chemical command center, influencing your mood, your recovery time, your drive to work out or start a project, even how your heart and blood vessels function. Testosterone drives your energy production, muscle mass, bone density, red blood cell production, sex drive, fertility, mood, confidence, and motivation. Without enough of it, you can feel like a phone on low battery. And here's the kicker. In the US, about 4 in 10 men over 45 have levels below what's considered optimal. By 50, it's even more common. You might already have noticed lower energy in the afternoons, less motivation at the gym, changes in mood, slower recovery, loss of muscle, and increase in belly fat. But here's the part that surprises a lot of men. Sometimes, the first clues show up in places you'd never think to look, like your feet. Meet Mike, a 54-year-old firefighter from Ohio, Tom, a retired Army vet from North Carolina, and James, a 58-year-old CPA from Chicago. Different backgrounds, same complaint. I just don't feel like myself anymore. Mike stopped going to the gym because he was exhausted. Tom's mood tanked. James started gaining belly fat even though his diet hadn't changed. And all three had one odd thing in common. Something happening with their feet. Mike noticed his feet were always cold even in summer. Tom had little patches on his toes where the hair was gone. James had cuts on his heels that took forever to heal. At first they ignored it. They bought new shoes. They blamed socks. But when they finally got checked, all three had one thing in common: low testosterone. If you're finding this helpful so far, tap that like button. It tells YouTube this is worth showing to more men who need it. Now, let's dig into what was really going on with Mike, Tom, and James, because this is the part most guys miss. When testosterone drops, your circulation changes, your nerves become less responsive, and your skin loses some of its ability to heal. So, tiny things show up in your feet long before you notice them elsewhere. Doctors who work in men's health clinics here in the US will tell you they often see 3 early foot flags: constantly cold feet even in warm rooms, loss of hair on the toes or the top of the foot, and small cuts or cracked heels that heal very slowly. Those aren't just random annoyances. They're hints that your blood flow and tissue repair have slowed down, both of which are influenced by testosterone. Remember, testosterone isn't only about muscles and libido. It helps keep your blood vessels elastic, supports nitric oxide production, and aids the growth of healthy skin and nerve tissue. So when levels sink your extremities, the farthest points from your heart are the first to complain. Think of it like a garden hose. When water pressure drops, the farthest plants don't get watered. Same with your body. When hormone pressure drops, your feet may be the first to show it. Have you noticed your feet feeling colder lately, or seen little bald patches on your toes? If so, drop a comment below. I'm curious how many of you are experiencing it. And before you panic, remember that these signs don't automatically mean you have low testosterone. Diabetes, thyroid issues and circulation problems can do it too. But if you're a man over 50 and you've got these foot changes plus the classic low T symptoms like low energy, reduced drive, and belly fat, it's worth a conversation with your doctor. Stick around because in a moment I'm going to show you practical, natural ways to support healthy testosterone levels and what to ask for if you decide to get tested. But first, if you're getting value from this information, hit the like button. It helps this video reach other men who may need this wake-up call. Before we rush into fixes, let's slow down and really build the picture. Because if you're a man over 50 in America right now, you're living in a perfect storm for low testosterone, and you may not even know it. Every day you're juggling work, family, maybe grandkids, maybe caring for aging parents, and somewhere between the morning commute and the nightly Netflix binge, your hormones are taking a hit. That little foot flag we just talked about, the cold feet, the slow healing cracks, the weird bald spots on your toes, that's not just a weird quirk. It's your body whispering, "Hey buddy, I'm running low." But our culture teaches guys to tough it out, to ignore little warning signs until they turn into big problems. How many of you watching right now have shrugged off those little changes as just getting older? Be honest. Drop it in the comments. You're not alone. When I talk to men's health specialists in places like Cleveland, Denver, Dallas, they all say the same thing. Men come in for back pain or cholesterol checks and leave shocked to discover their testosterone is tanked. And here's what most guys don't realize. Lifestyle can either slam that accelerator all the way down or gently release it so you keep cruising for decades. You don't have to accept low T as inevitable. In fact, a lot of what supports healthy testosterone also makes your entire life better. So before you ever step into a clinic, here are some practical things you can start today. First, movement. Think about your dad or granddad's generation. They were on their feet, working, walking, lifting all day. Today, most of us sit. Your body reads inactivity as time to conserve and hormone production slows. The fix? You don't need to become a CrossFitter. Start simple American style. Walk a couple miles a day. Climb stairs instead of taking the elevator. Park farther from the store. Add 2 or 3 strength sessions a week with push-ups, squats, rows, even bands. Research from US universities shows resistance training is one of the most powerful natural testosterone boosters we have. Second, food. I'm not here to sell you a fad diet, but think of testosterone like a fire. You need the right kindling. A diet heavy in processed carbs and seed oils smothers it. A diet rich in protein, healthy fats, colorful veggies, and minerals feeds it. Look at the classic American backyard cookout. A big piece of protein, fresh corn on the cob, maybe a salad. That's closer to what your hormones like than drive-through fries and a soda. Make sure you're getting zinc, found in beef, oysters, pumpkin seeds, and vitamin D, sunshine, or supplements, because both are crucial to testosterone production. Third, sleep. This one hurts because we glorify the grind, but the reality is most testosterone is produced during deep sleep. If you're staying up scrolling until 1 a.m. and getting 5 hours of sleep, you're literally cutting your hormone factory's shift short. Try a simple American bedtime ritual. Dim the lights, put the phone away, keep your bedroom cool, go to bed at the same time every night, and you'll see your energy and mood change fast. Fourth, stress. Chronic stress means chronic cortisol, and cortisol is like kryptonite to testosterone. Think about all the little stressors you can dial down. Could you take 5 minutes of deep breathing in the car before you go inside? Could you walk your dog after dinner? Even small changes tell your nervous system, "I'm safe, you can produce testosterone." Fifth, weight. Extra belly fat isn't just sitting there. It's actively converting testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme called aromatase. That's one reason so many American men see their waistlines expand and their drive collapse at the same time. The good news is even modest weight loss, 5 or 10 pounds, can noticeably improve testosterone levels. And sixth, substances. Excessive alcohol, smoking, and some prescription meds can all lower T. You don't have to live like a monk, but look at your habits. Could you swap a nightly six-pack for a couple of light beers on the weekend? Could you talk with your doctor about alternative meds that don't hammer your hormones? Speaking of doctors, this brings me to the next curiosity piece: testing. A lot of guys assume testing is complicated or expensive, but here in the States, it's easier than ever. You can ask your primary care doctor for a simple blood draw that measures total and free testosterone, along with other markers like SHBG and estradiol. Knowing your numbers is like knowing your credit score. You can't fix what you don't measure. Some clinics even offer morning testing packages because testosterone peaks in the early hours. And here's the kicker: even if your levels come back normal for your age, that doesn't necessarily mean optimal. Normal just means average, and the average American man at 50 isn't exactly the picture of vitality. That's why Lifestyle Plus testing gives you the full picture. As you're listening right now, you might be thinking, man, I've got the cold feet, the low energy, the belly fat. Now what? Stick with me because in the next segment, I'm going to talk about how to have that conversation with your doctor, what to watch out for with testosterone therapy in the US, and some little known natural options that can help you feel like yourself again. But before we get there, do me a favor. If you're finding value in this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. It helps this channel reach more guys who need to hear that low T isn't a life sentence. So here you are, maybe nodding along, maybe thinking about those cold feet or those slow healing cracks or that missing hair on your toes and wondering, okay, I get it, but what do I actually do now? First, don't panic and don't self-diagnose. Low testosterone is common, but it's not the only explanation for foot changes or fatigue. The smartest move is to have a straight, no BS conversation with your doctor. In the US, that's easier than you think. Most primary care offices can order a morning blood draw to check total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, and estradiol. When you book the test, ask for a morning slot. Your levels are naturally highest then. And when the results come in, don't be shy about asking what the numbers actually mean for you. Normal for your age might still leave you feeling lousy. Use those numbers as a baseline, like checking your tire pressure before a road trip. If the levels are low, your doctor can look for other causes, thyroid issues, diabetes, medications, and rule them out before jumping to testosterone replacement. Now, about therapy itself. In America, there's a flood of low-T clinics and ads promising instant results. Some are reputable, some are just selling a monthly subscription. Real testosterone replacement therapy is a medical treatment that can make a huge difference when used appropriately, but it's not a magic bullet. You still need healthy habits, you still need monitoring, and you need to know the potential downsides. Your body may reduce its own production. You may need to donate blood periodically to manage your hematocrit. You'll need regular lab checks. The men who thrive on TRT are the ones who treat it like part of a bigger plan: nutrition, training, sleep, stress, relationship with their doctor, not a standalone fix. Ask your physician about risks and benefits. Ask about injectable versus topical, and ask how they'll monitor your blood work over time. And don't forget the natural boosters we talked about. They're not gimmicks. Lifting weights, losing excess belly fat, getting adequate vitamin D and zinc, managing stress, sleeping deeply, those can bump your numbers and, even more importantly, make you feel and perform better regardless of the lab value. Think of it like building a house. Testosterone therapy might be the new roof, but lifestyle is the foundation. Without the foundation, the roof won't hold. As we wrap this up, I want you to picture this. You're sitting on your porch one evening, shoes off, and you look down at your feet. They're warm. The little cracks are gone. You feel lighter, stronger, more like the man you remember being. That's not a fantasy. For thousands of men in this country who've taken control of their hormone health, it's reality. They didn't ignore the warning light. They listened, they acted, and their lives got bigger again. More energy for work, more patience with the people they love, more drive for the projects they'd been putting off. That can be you too. If this video hit home for you, do me a favor. Smash that like button so YouTube knows to show it to other men who need to hear this. subscribe if you haven't already so you catch the next deep dive on men's health, and drop a comment below telling me your age and whether you've noticed any of the foot signs we've talked about. Your story might help another guy realize he's not alone. And if you're ready to go deeper, talk to your doctor this week about getting your numbers checked. Knowledge is power. And in this case, it could be the power to reclaim your energy, your mood, your drive, and your future.